Welcome to the maiden episode of the Game High podcast, your place for all things sports, geekdom, games, and everything in between. My name is Chip.
And this is Carlo.
We're bringing you a rather different, honest to goodness perspective and unique takes as we talk about what's hot and what's not. We are basically unknowns in this space, and some of you may ask, who the hell are these guys, right? So, okay, for starters, let us tell you a bit about ourselves. I'll start by introducing my partner here. He is a prefect of the beautiful game. Some of you guys may know that's football, soccer for American fans. He longs for a time when the Philippines would qualify for the World Cup, but for now, he supports Manchester United and England. As long as I've known him, this guy is also a foodie and a movie junkie. Very selective and critical to say the least. Glad to have him in the corner of movies, games, and everything else. My brother in ink, Carlo, or well, in Brit English, we like to say Carlo.
Good Lord. It's not Brit English, but I'll take what I can get. Thank you so much for that introduction, Chip. And in turn, let me introduce my partner as well in this podcast. He's a sports enthusiast, except cricket and probably rugby. So maybe not that, but these are sports that are hard to understand anyway. He has a special love for basketball and American football. So it kind of follows that he is also a sports writer, a good one in fact.
Thank you.
Budding linguist, or trying to be in Spanish, like what he said, trying to invent another language with English. And love, oh my good Lord. Die-hard Phoenix Suns, North Carolina Tar Heels, Los Angeles Rams, and Liverpool FC supporter. My good buddy Chip.
Hola. Hola.
Okay, folks, I'm gonna let Gael, aka Enrique Iglesias, wanna be here, explain a bit more of where we come from.
Okay, you know what? What we have in common is that we both went to the red and white school, which is San Beda College in Manila, and now we call it San Beda University. Both of us, we took philosophy, where we both wrote for the school paper as sports writers. We both became sports editors, for that matter. That bond goes way back in college. And we basically are part of a group of friends that remain close after college.
Yeah. So, after our college days, Chip has been in the recruiting space, mostly doing his, Jerry Maguire, agent headhunter thing.
Well, yeah. And Carlo here, meanwhile, he's more of a corporate recruitment type. I'm the agency material. He's more of the HR professional. So, okay, you know what? We're not going to focus on the specifics of what we do for a living. The one that really pays the bills. I did mention about our passion for writing, especially back in the day. Also, being philosophy majors, we basically try to romanticize, editorialize, or just simply dig the crap out of most subjects, even the trivial ones, maybe come up with something meaningful that helps with the ladies, I suppose. Well, I have a wife, so she'd agree, I think.
Yeah. Anyway, point being, we do have a lot to say about the subjects that will certainly revolve on our show. From basketball, football, console gaming, pop culture, movies, TV shows, past, present, or future. And if you are interested about our content, you can visit our Game High page. So that's gamehigh.ph to get the latest from us. Try to visit our website, that's www.gamehigh.ph, to get the latest rather, and also like and follow our Facebook and Instagram pages, at Game High.
Actually, correct that the Facebook Facebook handle is more the Game High at the Game High PH, if I'm not mistaken. And for the Instagram page, you know what? I'm gonna go check it out a little later. But for this episode, basically we're gonna talk about what's been on the news. Not just recently, but fairly last quarter of 2020. You guys must have seen fantastic trailers on the new console, which is the PlayStation 5. And speaking of the trailers, we're also going to talk about the NBA 2K21, or the 2K franchise, which honestly had the most promising showcase. 2K21 had the most promising showcase of what's next for sports games.
Correct.
But before we dive into that, Carlo, one of our segments that I would like to introduce is basically the high five of the week. Of course, it's Game High, and then we have high five, as in high five.
So high five. Nope.
Why? Come on, pretty. Come on,
Nope,
pretty.
nope. No. Okay, so let me tell you guys why I'm here saying no. So obviously it's a reference to How I Met Your Mother. It's a series that we absolutely love, and it's
Mm.
so obvious that we've rewatched this plenty enough to remember those lines. So kind of sad. And Chip
uh,
has somehow managed to channel Barney's spirit. So, as I'm
five,
speaking, he's not putting down his hand, like Barney's in one of
five,
those
five.
episodes. So we got stuck with that for a while now, for a number of years. And actually, it's actually very funny, if you're looking at it from the outside. For the first few times. But if you're friends with this guy for as long as we have, you are going to get to hear this every single time, man.
Okay, fine.
Oh,
You know, he just doesn't share the energy. He doesn't share the ardor and zeal. A high five gives a certain level of psychitude, right? Because of something positive or something that brings joy, excitement, and whatnot. Like, okay, when you're watching a game, somebody hits a big shot or gets a home run or scores a touchdown. You high five with your buddies or people around you who you don't know if you're in a bar or in a stadium, you know.
you know what? You're absolutely right, Chip. So the way we're gonna do this is ask you guys how you are, and talk about what's happening in your lives as of this moment. And then, Chip, we can high five. So my high five for this week is I'm gonna start with just sharing something that I got to experience recently.
Mm.
I was actually reviewing a lot of podcasts as well a while ago, but then I got to listen to this podcast recommended by one of our friends, RK. It's called the Cool Pals. But from there, I
Nice
got to
name.
yeah, actually, ang ganda nga ng pangalan nila eh. So when I listened to that, I noticed one of their names. It's actually a very famous comedian that's probably part of a group that's trying to redefine
Mm.
the comedy bar circuit in the Philippines. So alam niyo naman yung mga comedy bars around in Manila right now na medyo more on the pang-aasar or
Mm.
nanggogoyo or on the hot seat yung mga karamihan ng mga audience members nila. But when I watch this group of comedians, parang nakita ko yung similarities nila with the US comedic scene. So very
I see.
intelligent,
Stand up.
actually stand up, actually very
Mm.
parang prepared yung jokes nila, and it was either through their own personal experiences, yung UK guy, or someone who has worked in the UK and so on. So it was
Mm.
a funny and somewhat uplifting na moment for me when I listened to that one, because it kind of gave me some parang appreciation to our local comedy right now, which
Right.
is
Local comedy scene.
has evolved, at least for the past few years, turning from the ano yun, may terms kasi sila dun eh, nakalimutan ko yung pangangarat, something like that. So yeah, that's my oh my god, did I just use pangangarat? But anyway, that's actually the term that's very appropriate for that, and that's something that I appreciated. So that's my high five.
Nice. Well, ako naman, my high five of the week. I told you about this last week.
Mm,
In last weekend. Pero siguro that's not the most recent one eh. I mentioned nga about, me being a headhunter, right? So the objective or the goal of being headhunters is basically to hire for our clients. And what we were able to do, or at least today, that my candidate for a job offer in a client, my candidate decided to accept the offer. And
nice.
the good thing about it is that medyo uphill battle to eh.
Mm,
It's an uphill battle because that guy has an offer from another company na he was comparing it eh. And ano yun, mahirap yun kasi it's not like the other company is a so-so company.
mm,
Pero yun, it just so happened the guy decided to accept the offer. So he's gonna start in, well, this month naman siya magsa-start.
right.
Kasi maliikli lang yung notice period nila. But yeah, that's a win for me, you know. In
Absolutely.
this trade, in what I do, um this matters talaga because it's the objective of what I do.
Oh,
And not just because of that, but but the initial intent really, or the purest of intent, is to really help people. And that's why I came into this business. Some people would say with it's BS. My reason or my motivation, excuse me, my motivation to be in this business is to help people. They say it's BS. I say it's not. I was nasabihan ako niyan before dun sa dating company na pinagtrabahuhan namin. And
mm.
I mentioned about, headhunting being my sole purpose that I want to get into headhunting is because I want to help people. And he said, bullshit. So parang, alam mo yun, and I look at that, when I look back at that, it's the most fulfilling part of the job. I mean, sure, we get to help our clients. It's a lucrative job, by the way. But at the same time, excuse me, yung fulfillment talaga, it's really helping people get to where they're where, getting to help them improve their lives
Right.
through through a job opportunity na either hindi nila makukuha ever, or that they've never heard about this company, or it's a dream company that they want to be in, and malagyan mo sila doon. That's basically, you did your job and you basically help people. So
Yeah.
that's my high five of the week, man.
Yeah, actually nagigets ko na, pre. So ito yung high five talaga.
Yeah.
Good job dun sa placement mo. So
High
yeah.
five, high five. Self five. Okay. Anyway, moving on with our topic. Na-mention ko naman sa'yo, Carlo, about PlayStation 4. PlayStation 4 nga ba?
Yeah,
No,
I still have my PS4 Pro. You
oh,
know why?
okay. Yeah, go.
Because
What
wala
is-
akong
yeah,
mabiling
go.
PS5, pre.
Why?
Hanggang ngayon.
Oh, so we have PS5. Sorry.
Oh.
Napag-jumble ko. PS4, PS5. It's not that hard to differentiate. But because ako din, wala rin akong PS5. Okay? Wala rin
Yeah.
akong PS5. I still have my PS4, which is still good for me, by the way.
Yeah.
Pero ikaw, you mentioned that parang mas naasar ka ata dun sa part na yun.
Nakakasar
PS4.
siya, pre. Actually, parang suntok or sampal sa mukha ko yan na nire-remind mo sa akin na wala pa rin akong PS5. Or maybe someone just reminded me na I still don't have the console. You know what? Here's the thing. Kasi when I bought my PS4, it was already on its downward life cycle, or it's in the latter stage of the life cycle already. So when I bought that, I was just catching up and playing the games that I wanted to play and so on. So I wasn't really in a rush for me to get another unit at this stage. But when I saw the release, right, all the specs that were given via the YouTube or trailers that were given out for the PS5. Sobrang ganda niya talaga. I mean, it's the next gen console, upgraded yung performance niya, upgraded the graphics. So you're essentially going to be playing games in 4K resolution with 60 frames per second.
Wait. Medyo technical ata yung part na yun eh. Can you discuss it? Ako, pare, honestly, I don't care about 4K resolution or frame rate, whatever. Because what I see naman on TV, it's like, okay, good graphics, great graphics, nice one. Uy,
Sige.
umikot, whatever. Uy, detailed masyado. I mean, dude, for a layman like me who just appreciates the aesthetic and not the technicalities, the technical stuff. Like, what's 4K? What's a frame rate you mentioned? Ano ba? Paano ko mako-compare yan?
Okay, paano mo natin mako-compare in a
Or
really
ano
practical way?
benchmark ko? Or anong benchmark ko dun?
O sige, maglalaro tayo sa inyo, tapos
Okay.
pupunta ka sa akin, maglalaro ko in 4K. Kung may PS5 na, makikita mo yung difference. Ganun lang kasimple yun. So, graphics, so hindi naglalag, essentially. Hindi mo nakikita may mga parts na that's slowing down, when you play your game. And let's say, for example, we're playing FIFA or 2K. For FIFA, I'm sure matatalo kita kasi sabi mo sa akin dati, may mga special buttons ako. Pero, wala naman special buttons, by the way. Pero, yun, makikita mo yung frame rate niya. Like, yung how smooth the animations are, kung paano mo makikita yung mga passing. Kunyari, sa 2K, maglalaro tayo, yung nakikita mo, ma-appreciate mo talaga yung bilis, yung speed. So if let's say you're not playing on a 4K TV right now, which is, what parang nagiging standard na nga for gaming these days, yun yung parang magiging comparison point mo for the next gen console. Kasi it's taking the speeds up to the next level already. But to be honest with you, pre, at this point, medyo matagal pa eh. Hindi mo pa makikita yung parang actual differences when you're comparing the PS4 and the PS5 because wala pa masyadong games that are built especially for the PS5. So there's like a few, but not a lot yet.
Yeah, I mean, right now, it's the way of the life of consoles eh. Diba? They don't have many games on the onset, but once it reaches, although it's already reaching fever pitch, dadami na talaga yung console niyan. But at the same time kasi, you still have PS4 games or you still have Sony and other developers still doing games for the PS4, but they're currently also developing for the PS5. We'll talk about PS5 and not Xbox. In this regard, because although it's like there's only one time I played the Xbox, it was really good, but that was way back, diba? So yun, I've seen the trailers, or I've seen trailers, I've seen the PS5 games. Nakita naman talaga yung difference. Like for one example is Spider-Man Miles Morales. I played it in PS4 and there was already a stark difference with Spider-Man.
Mm.
for the PS4. Parang may nakikita kong may lag with the movements, for the button reaction to the character itself, na hindi siya kasing bilis nung unang Spider-Man.
Right.
And it made me wonder, how does it look like in PS5? 'Di ba? And it's one of the intriguing factors as to why I would also want a PS5.
Mm.
If I'm going to buy another console, it's definitely gonna be PS5. But is it now? Feeling ko
No.
hindi pa,
Mm.
because kumbaga hindi ko pa nalulubos eh, hindi ko pa nasusulit si PS4. Um, there are still some playable games. Like I said, may dinedevelop pang games for PS4. So gusto kong sulitin yun.
Yeah.
And until such time that scalpers, ha, please, wag naman, 'di ba? For the love of everybody loves the video gaming industry, please don't take advantage. Don't make it like a sneaker culture type of scalping, 'di ba?
Mm.
Doubling the price. Although fine, meron tayong friend na meron tayong friend na
Ako,
nag-scalp ng PS5, right?
parte yan.
Pero hindi kasi siya, what he did was he bought, 'di ba? He bought an Xbox X, Series X if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
He bought the latest console of Xbox and accidentally bought a PS5. So parang kung anong una atang dumating, yun yung hindi niya ibebenta, 'di ba?
Mm.
And he was able to sell the panalo siya doon kasi fine,
Kita pa siya eh.
I earned double, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Parang more than baliktaya ako eh. Kumbaga.
Mm.
But at the same time, there's also that demand, 'di ba?
Right.
Na that there's that demand na there are people are willing to buy at ridiculous prices.
Mm.
So we'll get to that.
We'll get to that,
We'll get to
definitely.
that scalper part, no?
Kasi
And
the thing about the scalping thing, like, can't believe he's our friend, but what our friend did was essentially, was his to his advantage, right? But unfortunately, if you're looking at someone who's probably, let's say, buying that na, let's say, a little boy or
mm,
someone's parent for or their child, right? For their child, right? Mangyayari niyan, manghihinayang sila na, alam mo yun, ang mahal-mahal ng pagkabili ko dito. And then, there are not yet a lot of games na pwede kong may laro. And then I will just have to wait, 6 months to a year. Because most of the, big shot AAA games will be released either this year or by next year. And a lot of them are still in development. So parang it's kind of taking advantage of people who want to have the unit right now because they have
mm,
specific games to play.
mm.
Pero overall advice, wag muna, hintay-hintay na lang. And like what Chip said, medyo madami pang ring issues with new consoles, right? You want to have those ironed out. And for sure, magre-release yan yung Sony ng PS5 Slim, PS5 Pro, Jesus Christ. So alam mo yun?
Yeah, there would be some developments pa on
Oo,
that one.
mahihirap.
Pero Carlo, were also already mentioning mga games na mga,
Mm.
some games that would appear, later on, mga AAA, right? Pero
Yeah.
do you have certain games that you're looking forward to play?
Pare, Harry Potter.
Why?
um,
I mean, sure,
Potter,
you're a fan, but
of
why?
course. No, kasi yung the next Harry Potter game. So this is a online, and this is probably the only online game that I would be able to play. Kasi it's an open world setting, which is not really unheard of when it comes to the actual games that we play these days. Pero
Mm.
it's a Harry Potter universe. So you can imagine, right, creating a custom character na you're a wizard, choosing your gender, choosing your own schoolhouse, kakaroon ka ng lessons, right? And then you are gonna go out to the real world. So may mga segments dun sa trailer of the new Harry Potter game na dinidepict yung Hogsmeade, dinidepict yung mga certain environments that I'm not yet familiar with kasi hindi sila labeled. But there are interpretations ng mga developers on the specific sets ng Harry Potter series. So nakaka-excite siya kasi it's a game or it's a genre that's very close to my heart, first of all. And then, of course, yung theme niya or the overall license, I would say, it's Harry Potter. So very immersive kasi yung world, and a lot of people are still Potterheads until this day that would really appreciate that game. So yun yung nilook forward ko.
I
One of the
think
games.
I think also kasi with PS4, we are already blown away with what Sony has done to the console. I mean, from PS1 or PSX
Mm-hmm.
up until now, you've seen how technology has evolved. People have been blown away with graphics, with the capabilities of the PlayStation console. before you have a Grand Theft Auto that's top view na napakaliit na city, and now it's like you travel from one part of the city to the other, and could take you like 15 to 20 minutes of
Yeah.
driving lang. So it has expanded, diba? And not to segue from PS to Nintendo, let's say, um, we have seen people are blown away also with Zelda, the
Right.
open world engine or open world game of Zelda. Na parang, uy, what else can you do with these things? Ako naman, pre, what I look forward to the PS5 games or to the next gen games would be an feeling ko mababaw as it may seem. I don't have any specific, may specific ako syempre. Pero I would like to describe it as, it's not like, oh, I can't wait to play this, but I just really look forward to playing GTA 6.
Ah,
I
nice.
look forward to play future Star Wars games. Baka mamaya magkaroon tayo ng open world
Solid yan.
Star
Solid
Wars game.
yan.
So parang going from one planet to another, it's not like, 'di ba, pwede ka travel with your X-wing
Mm.
or your TIE fighter or whatever or a shuttle. You go from one planet to another, naka-warp speed ka, tapos may gagawin ka sa loob ng ano na yun
Right.
habang nag-aantay ka. So there are a lot of things that they can do with the technology that they have, that they have evolved or that they have advanced for PS5. Of course, being a sports junkie myself, I can't wait to get my hands on 2K. I am also looking forward to Madden football. Um, and I'm also looking forward to go to other sports games like hockey, because
Mm.
I like hockey as a sport. I'm not that big of a hockey fan, but I follow the Vancouver Canucks. Not because of How I Met Your Mother, but because of the 1994 Stanley Cup Finals between them and the New York Rangers. One of my favorite athletes is ever of all time is a Vancouver Canuck, and
Pero Chip, hindi
yeah,
ba
I want
ano?
to play. I want to play
Hindi ba
hockey.
hindi ba Vancouver Canucks?
Kachuk, guys. But
Pero
yeah,
anyway, ito nga tayong look forward ng look forward. Pero hanggang ngayon, hindi pa rin naman makabili. So maybe once we have the PS5, we'll have different conversations around the games that we play. And actually, I'm looking forward to the Star Wars bit na sinabi mo. Kasi I agree with you. The platform has evolved.
mm,
They have a very good template right now with Star Wars Fallen Order. So they can really
Jedi
develop from
Fallen, yeah,
there.
Jedi
Correct.
Fallen
It's
Order.
a template that they can definitely use in the future to build on the Star Wars games. I like what you said. I like the idea of an open world setup for that universe and for that license. So yeah, definitely we're looking forward to that.
Like, think Assassin's Creed open world
Ako,
times 5. 'Di ba? Yung no, but you know that kind of template, right?
yeah, I
Kasi
know,
if mo
but
ganong kalaki yung parang
mm,
pupuntahan mo, sure you'd have modes of transportation and all that. But yeah, isip mo times
pero
5 or times
don't
10.
get me started with Assassin's Creed.
Well, we'll
Sige.
talk about that in one of our episodes, Carlo, no? Pero
Pero
yeah,
Chip 2K, you
pinag-aanuhan mo nga
mentioned
yung ano, 'di
2K.
ba? Yeah, but I mentioned about 2K, 'di ba?
Mm.
But hindi pa rin ako makaget over sa sobrang asar mo sa ano. Sa sobrang asar mo
Ako,
sa with all these scalpers. And it's been 2-3 months already, 'di ba? And they're still in the news globally. They're not just hindi lang dito sa Philippines na laganap sila. But they're also abroad, because there are moves in, like, for example, in the UK or in the US, that Sony authorities or watchdogs or somebody or some entity would make moves to prevent the scalping.
mm.
And that's one of the things that I've seen lately in the news, on that one, no. Pero for you, Carlo, ano bang effect? Kasi we're talking about us too. In general, what are the things that you think of when these gamers don't get their stuff, don't get the PS, don't get an Xbox Series X or Series S? Ano bang effect niyan? What do you think?
So hindi ko naman natin sasagutin in a very economics way. Pero the way we see it, kung we're looking at the spectrum of, let's say, a buyer or like a gamer like ourselves who wants to have a console right now, and then you're a scalper, let's say we know someone who has a stockpile of, let's say, units of PS5 not being used. It's just there gathering dust. And once the, like what you said, yung mga safeguards that are in place right now to get rid of those scalpers. So there are units right now na will be just there. It might not be sold because of the prices, the ridiculously high prices that they have tagged.
Mm.
However, it will eventually, parang mangyayari niyan, ano na lang, mag-boil down to, kailangan ko na ilabas yung unit ito, so I might as well, sell it for a lower price or probably the standard retail price eventually. Because no one will buy it. Eh. And then on the gamer side, you're not going to be able to get your stuff. You're not going to be able to play the games that you want because of the lack of units that are being produced. And I know I promise I won't answer in a very economics way, but it would also be a loss for PlayStation and Sony because they're developing units to anticipate or get the demand or address the demand rather, but walang nakakapunta sa mga talagang buyers eh. So meaning pinapakyaw ng mga scalpers yung units, but it's not going to the intended audience or the intended market. So they're actually, maybe, I'm not sure what their decision is right now. Alright, gagawa ba tayo ngayon ng panibagong units kasi ang dami pa ring demand. And so there's kind of a conflict, right? Nagkakaroon ng parang gray area between that supply chain problem that Sony has right now versus people or scalpers that are really pumapakilan talaga to earn the profit, which is respectable in any case, but it kind of disrupts what
No,
we
it's
have.
not respectable. For
No, I
doing
mean,
that way to earn money, that's not respectable.
but
I'm
I
sorry.
mean,
I disagree, but
it's
no.
understandable in some ways. I would say not respectable.
No.
Thank you for correcting me.
No.
The thing is, they're trying to earn the money in the wrong way lang possible,
Yeah.
at the expense of others, I would say.
Correct.
And
Correct.
again, pinag-uusapan natin sobrang babaw na issue.
It's
Na
not.
alam mo yun, it's sobrang babaw because it's just a gaming console. If you're looking at it from the spectrum of someone being objective, and a lot of people are not,
Okay.
right? And
Well, I
yun yung
think
ano din eh, yun yung surprising din kasi naging news siya. And hindi
I
naman
think
nagiging
it
news yan.
pero I think it added to that demand because of where we are right now. It's a pandemic, 'di ba?
Mm.
Limited ang movements natin. Some people can't play sports, some people can't go outside. They're really just at the house most of the time. So what else? Ano
Yeah,
bang gagawin mo? What else is there to do?
exactly.
Um, maglibang ka, find your own form of entertainment.
Correct.
Carlo, I know you do that something hub.com ano yun? Yeah. Just
I don't
kidding.
know what you're talking about.
But
But anyway,
but yeah, it's your own form of entertainment, and yun yung kasing nagte-trigger, 'di ba? For to create such demand.
correct.
The people have limited capacity to enjoy themselves, and what else can they do is, of course, especially if you're a gamer, is to get the latest thing. And that in itself is a demand that's taken advantage of, 'di ba? By scalpers. Hindi sila nawawalan ng consumers eh. So, wow, okay, so let's keep doing this. In fact, I read an article I think a day or two ago, sinabi may nagsabing scalper na group. It gets easier every time. So parang
Seriously.
yes. But it's not here in the Philippines, but
Mm.
you get my point that they
Yeah,
say
yeah.
it gets easier every time, and that's that's kind of a sad thing already,
The
'di ba?
gall, huh?
The gall, I know, the gall of the audacity and all that. Pero like me, on the other hand, I mean, I still see it as something too early to want it,
Mm-hmm.
and I can wait. Much like what I did with PSX, with PS2, PS3. Nag-antay ako eh. Because personally, it wasn't a need. Sure, I was able to catch up, but it's not a race in order
Yep.
for, who gets to finish the game first, who gets to experience this, who gets to play this first. Personally, it's not about that. I mean, hindi naman ako nakapagkompetensya with other people na nakalaro ko na to, natapos ko na to, I found the secret, all that.
I think
You
tumanda na
know,
tayo doon. We got past
I
that
guess we
stage
outgrew
already.
that part,
We
'di ba? I
outgrew
guess
that
we
part.
outgrew it.
Yeah.
Correct, correct. Oo.
Not
So,
unless you're a streamer or a gamer that's making these things for a living na talagang
sure.
necessary for you to get those. But in general, which is, I think that's really parang percentage lang, a very small percentage of people. But in general, like the general consumer base of
Mm.
these console users. Again, I agree with you. It's too early to want at this stage. Ako sa pagkatao ko medyo hayok sometimes to get something that I want.
Mm.
I'm forced to be in this position, to be honest, kasi because of that, lack of demand. So I'm getting myself getting used to the idea of, yeah, I have my PS4 Pro still. I have a laptop that I can play games on.
Mm.
So it's not really something that I need right now. Definitely. So I definitely agree with you.
Mm.
And just to further hammer on to the point that you made, about being too early to want, it's all about the games that you're gonna play, right? Bakit hindi
Mm.
Xbox? Wala din yung games na gusto natin. So that's why it's the PS5 right now. And then there's a lot of, press going on about, games, etc. that are going to be released exclusively for the PS5. So medyo nagkakaroon ng, na-outgrow nila yung hype ng Xbox, which is, to be honest with you, pre, mas malakas na unit ang Xbox. But just,
Mm.
circling back, it's too early to want, if you have games that, like myself, that are expecting the future to be released, it's not yet the time. Just wait it out. Look for something else to, get yourself busy with. I guess movies or something else. But essentially, we just have to be patient about it and make
Yeah.
sure that one of the things that we have to really look forward to is once those games get there, well, at least we can be able to play, hassle free, setup ka na, right, and so on. So yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Yeah. Um. Well, I think we can talk more about scalping, or and what the hatred that is, being
Pagdating
caused by
siguro ng
scalping or
NCAA
something.
season, no? Oh.
What's that? Was that?
Pagdating siguro ng NCAA season.
Yeah, that's another form of scalping naman,
Ha!
'di ba? Okay. Well, you mentioned about NCAA, no? Let's talk about basketball. And we were, you know, the other topic that we want to talk about is basically 2K basketball, 'di ba?
Mhm.
2K, well, just a bit of history. I don't know if a lot of our listeners or if a lot of people right now know that 2K started with Sega Dreamcast. That was a long, long time ago. I think it
Yeah.
was about 99 or year 2000. No, year 2000, early or late 99, whereabouts, that they started with the game. I wasn't able to play that version of
I
2K
did. I did.
where you were able to.
Yeah.
Pero marami daw nagkagusto eh. Marami nagustuhan. I think it has a cult following, the early
Totoo.
2K games. But
Kasi
when
nung high
it.
school ako noon eh, nung time na yon. So
Mm,
when
mhm.
the Dreamcast was released, it was supposed to be the competition of the PlayStation 5. However, when
PlayStation
sorry,
X.
no, I'm sorry, not PlayStation 5. The PlayStation, the original PlayStation.
Ah,
However, when 2K released for the first time, kasagsagan yun ng NBA Live eh. And
yes,
you know how
NBA
NBA
Live.
Live is, right? It's so
Mm,
arcadey, sobrang unrealistic sometimes. It had a
mm,
good presentation behind it, but
mm,
when 2K was released, yun na yung naging parang benchmark for like simulation games eh. Because mas beefier yung character models or yung mga player
mm.
models, and then the animations were different. Hindi siya parang sobrang stiff, right? They were actually, can really tell the difference between a jump shot and the different types of shots between the games. So
I
naging
think that came later on yung difference,
may mga
di ba?
signature styles,
May
right?
mga signature styles. Yeah, that's correct.
Correct. Signature styles down the line. But essentially, na-capture nila motion animation was already at its parang infancy during that time. Kaya naging medyo, naging iba. Kumbaga, nagkaroon ng competition si NBA Live.
The
During
competition did not come personally, did not come on board until NBA Live lost its luster, starting with NBA Live 2006. And that's when I first played NBA 2K6, which was, sold on the PlayStation 2, at least to my
far,
memory.
way, way better. Yeah.
Way it
I agree.
became better, and I was surprised that I saw it. I heard it from a friend when he told me na, pre, laro tayo 2K. Ano yun? NBA 2K, kunento niya. He
Mm.
told me about it. And then, sabi niya, pre, promise, much better than live. Sabi ko talaga. And then, there was a time that nakalibre siya, and then he invited me to play 2K with him, and I was blown away. For the third time I said that. I was really so surprised with how the graphics were at that time. Nakikita mo smooth siya, parang uy, pulido, 'di ba? It was different, gameplay, graphics, user experience. They're all different and was better than than their live NBA live counterpart. It was NBA Live 2006 that I stopped playing NBA Live, and I hopped on board the NBA 2K train.
Mm.
And ever since then, it was really 2K. Even if they were releasing, you know, when I saw NBA Live 2007, it's like it felt like it was NBA Live 99.
Mm.
So parang ganun naisip ko with the graphics, no? And then, you know, di ba, when we were playing with 2K6, 2K7, chinichibog ko kayo. So, you know,
Sure.
it was really a great time for me to hop on board 2K7. And then the waning years of 2K in PS2, it hopped onto PS3. The earliest 2K that I played was 2K13. And I think it was the only, and then PS3. Pero it was very different. Became more realistic. Actually, nung 2K6 pa lang, it was more realistic already. Looking back at it with how I was playing with I was playing with my friends with it. Parang we were doing best of 7 games, and because it was that realistic, and we had that realistic feel when I was playing 2K even up to now, no, even up to now. And fast forward from 2K13, 14, and 15, now the one that I played and I'm still playing recently is 2K19. I didn't hop on 2K20. I'm still thinking of, you know, I'm still contemplating if I'm going to buy 2K21 for the PS4, but I'm satisfied with 2K19. Siguro dahil sa my player lang, you know, in the my player in my career that keeps on advancing every year. I'm not longing for the new lineups, for the new rosters, which is what 2K has been doing. You know, from every console, even NBA Live, every console that they have, the more they grow, the newer the lineups. There were less or there were few innovations. There were innovations, fine. Pero as they go, pakonti ng pakonti yung innovations. And I think they're only able to add innovations when they
Naku,
hop
man.
on to another console. Di ba?
I
Because
have
it
to
expands the
strongly
capability eh.
I have to strongly siguro say about the innovations part. Sure, I agree with you. They did some better, or the at least the animations, the collisions were getting better as the game
Hmm.
progressed, right? But I wouldn't call it innovation because the only change that 2K makes for their games right now is basically the microtransactions. So maybe I'll ask you this question once I just make the statement, because I'm curious to know why you're still sticking to 2K19. Pero for me, 2K became the monopoly of the
Hmm.
basketball scene. There were several attempts for different competition to come up during, nung kasagsagan nga ng sinasabi mo from 2K8 to 2K14. I don't even remember those names. So, ganun sila hindi ka memorable. Ganun siguro kataas na yung platform na inabot ni 2K for them to be established as the best basketball scene we're gonna see out there. But I got really disappointed with this franchise. Again, mas ma-football ako pero I am playing this game because I enjoy the gameplay, the dynamics, and the setup of how we can be on a specific NBA team or a specific NBA player progress through the NBA and so on.
Hmm.
However, nung pagkapasok ng microtransactions, that's where I got siguro it's just churned my butter, kumbaga.
Define microtransactions, Carlo.
Chong, ito yung kunyari na 2K19. Ano yan? So, microtransactions are still there. Ito yung gagawa ka ng my player. Tapos, bibili ka ng VC credits. Ito tayong hindi masyado sa downloadable content. Because we just bought a freaking game for like 2,000 pesos or so. Tapos,
Yeah.
bibili ka pa ng extra pera. Or I mean, you're gonna spend your extra money to get virtual credits para i-level up mo yung player mo na if you're like purchasing a lot of VC credits, max out mo na siya. So wala na yung parang grind that you have to go as an NBA player kung really if it follows a simulation kind of approach, right? Wala yung practice mo na you have to go to the gym para mag-shooting.
Hmm.
You have to do some drills para improve yung athletic abilities mo. And with the VC credits, the microtransactions part, that's just one part of it eh. So yung pagka-level up mo, it already places certain players. And once you go online, nagkakaroon na ng imbalance. Number two, for you to customize your players, which is really, becoming the trend already, or has become the trend already for most games, that you can personalize your characters.
Hmm.
Nangyayari, every bit of clothing that you're purchasing requires VC credits. even up until 2K21, anak ka ng toko, hindi ako bibili ng virtual hat na hindi ko naman magagamit sa real life.
In game, that's correct.
And in-game ko lang siya and then it's pure aesthetics, right? So,
Yeah.
siguro maybe, maybe Chip and I are part of a generation na hindi nakikita yung value or practicality of
Precisely.
aesthetic games, right? Or games that are valuing the aesthetics over your experience playing the game.
And I think
But
it's more of Carlo yung part na I enjoy the grind.
yeah,
Honestly.
exactly.
Hindi ako yung market ng microtransactions eh. There
Hindi
were
rin
times
ako
that
yung
I
market.
was tempted just to get siguro 5,000 or 10,000 VCs. But at the end of the day, I'll just buy something that I'm going to, it's going to make worth my while
Mm,
better than, a 2K transaction. I mean, I'm just that part of the market. Diba?
right.
I don't have we don't know yet the perspective of the actual gamers who actually enjoy the 3-on-3s or the half court or the 1-on-1s, diba, when they
Mm,
play with other players, multiplayers on
that's my
multiplayer
court, yeah.
games sa my court. I personally enjoy my player. Doing solo, I don't play with others. That's fine with me. Siguro I haven't probably it's because I haven't felt the rush in that. But for me, I'm good. Again, I'm not a market of the
Siguro
microtransactions.
kasi, purist din tayo eh. No?
Probably.
We're just there to play the game itself, not
Oh, I
really try
mean,
to interact.
maybe yeah.
But
Oo.
you know what, just to probably clear the air lang. I did try playing my court. It was actually fun. It's a fun experience because you're getting to play with other people online, right?
Mm.
But the thing is, at the end of the day, if I'm, just going online just to compete with other people, I'm not gonna be that, right? I'm not gonna be that person that after work, I'm still going to be interacting with different people from, and then, magiging cancer lang sa'yo, ang dami sasabihin bullshit, para alam mo yun, mga cancer sa buhay na trash talking. It's just, don't need that drama right now, to be honest
Oh
with you.
yeah, you mean because
Right.
you play video games to relax, right?
Exactly, exactly. So
Okay,
maybe
got it.
there will be people who will definitely enjoy
Yeah,
playing that type
there
of
are.
online experience. So good for you guys. But for us, it's all about the baseline experience of NBA 2K as a franchise. Because the thing is, like what I told you, Chip, Pre, nung nagkwentuhan tayo a few days ago. I bought 2K21 for X number of money, and the only thing I saw, or the difference that I only saw for between 2K20 and 21, was the freaking shot mechanic or the
Mm.
shot timing na pull down na siya instead of the usual I pull up rather the right analog stick. You know what the usuals are. So yun lang yung naging difference. And then, of course, updated rosters, mas maganda yung collision mechanics system. But
What
that's
about my
only it.
career? Like, is the story different? Because I thought 2K19 had a very comprehensive story of, being a GM on one hand, or you're going to play as your own player, create your own player. Is it different with 2K20 and 2K21? Because I really don't know, man. Yun yung nag-a-appeal lang sa akin eh. But I don't
Mechanics, sorry, so when we talk about, my player, I think may mga similar themes pa rin that you can still see with 2K19 and 2K20. However, I don't feel it as a comparison because the story itself with my player, I feel at the same time maganda naman siya, honestly, the way you're progressing. And at the same time, the story was really unnecessary for you to progress.
really.
Parang ang
Okay.
dami pang room for improvement, I would say, for the story within the my player mode to be really improved. And
Kasi, okay.
hindi naman yun yung naging focus din ng ano eh ng 2K dev team eh. It's really about yung online games nila.
Multiplayer, yeah. I saw
Multiplayer.
that I was coming to that, when they had an advertisement, when they showed the trailer of 2K21, and when they continue to advertise 2K21, they're really focused on multiplayers, right? On
Like
online games.
tournaments, yeah.
They're on online tournaments, and which is not bad. I mean, if that's the direction that they're going, then well and good. But I think, well, again, I haven't seen 2K21. I haven't played 2K21, and I don't know if my career is still comprehensive or it's still as expansive, or it's like 2K19. Yung may storyline talaga. I don't know if it's still there. But yeah, again, I like 2K19. I'm still sticking with 2K19 for some reason. So yeah, unless there's a really probably I'll buy the next 2K game once I have a PS5.
Yep. and that's the only reason I would probably buy 2K21. It's just because I need to have a very decent sports game, I would say, or a basketball game for the next gen. But the thing is, I think we can kind of transition to our match point here, Chip. And I think before we go to our match point, I think we can go ahead and explain what this is all about.
Okay, well, match point is basically the segment where we end today's discussion by giving our final take for our topic, for our episode. Whether Carlo and I agree with each other or disagree with each other on the subject. So that's essentially match point.
Right.
You brought it up, Carlo. What's your match point?
So my match point is this. For the 2K games and the 2K franchise, they're actually treading a very dangerous path. And this is because of the microtransactions, or they're gearing towards a games as service model. So games as service model basically is something that you just go into to play online. So para siyang Fortnite, para siyang Valorant. So you're not there to experience story mode, you're not there to experience any other modes of games within that game, which 2K has evolved towards that genre already, which is, I
Mm,
think, which is okay kasi it's all about monetizing and getting profit from, again, the microtransactions, the tournaments that they, like you mentioned, that they are hosting for different types of online players, which is good, right? But in itself, in terms of the innovation that's being made with the 2K game itself, I feel na nagkakaroon siya ng disconnect because there are no competition, or there's no, I would say, legitimate competition like what NBA Live did to them in order for them to get to the top. So that, I feel that's what's missing with 2K. I'm not going to spend my money or X number of money for another game that will basically have the same features. I need to have some sort of semblance. I think, and that's where I think 2K21 is gearing towards for the PS5. The giging much more realistic na. Yung mga animations and the collisions and so on that we already talked about. But I'm not going to be a buyer, I would say, if it will be a focus for microtransactions and online tournament. I just want like a basic, solid basketball game that I can
mm,
enjoy and just play with friends na together, like magtutuan to tayo na sa bahay lang. No need to get online, to go
mm,
online.
mm.
But yeah, I mean, yun yung gusto kong baseline. Basically, the one solid, well developed 2K franchise, or 2K game rather, na maganda animations, maganda yung collisions, much more realistic this time around, being a simulation and all. So
Mhm.
yeah, that's kind of my match point. And hoping that that's something that it can evolve to once we get to the next generation or next iterations of the game.
PS5 and beyond, right?
Correct.
Okay. My match point 2K the 2K franchise is a very good franchise. It is an excellent franchise. It has dominated NBA Live for personally 15 years already, since 2K6. And the same way that NBA Live dominated from NBA Live 95 to a decade, right? So the good thing that I've been seeing here with 2K is that they're really taking advantage of the technology to make certain innovations. They are taking advantage of perhaps what people want, diba? Realism, signature shots, and having your own player to do or to have a career on. Oh my God, if you can't do it in real life, might as well do it in virtual life, right? So they took advantage of that because those are the things that people want. And when we talk about multiplayer games, they've actually capitalized that with the onset of mobile gaming, which there is a lot of multiplayer games in mobile gaming. Tapos imo-monetize pa, which is what happens in mobile gaming, 'di ba? They infuse that thinking onto their PS, and I think it's still successful. Hindi lang talaga ako yung market for that one. And that's my personal take. Hindi ako yung market ng ganyan. Siguro if I become one, then I'll probably spend a lot of pesos or dollars to get certain VCs to buy to buy a virtual hat or a backpack or the new kicks, or improve my player, 'di ba? But that's why I personally am a fan of the My Career because there's a storyline into it, and at the same time, it gives me the grind. It tests my patience kasi ang banu mo sa umpisa eh. Di ba? Ang banu ng player mo
Totoo.
sa umpisa eh. So, but when I went through it lang, sige, let's go through the motions, let's go through the motions. It's, if I'm going to have it like in a parallel world or parallel to what we do in real life is, well, we are in the grind. We go to work, we go through the grind, we develop ourselves, we improve ourselves. And ma-apply mo rin yun in the virtual world, which is my career also. Syempre, at least yun, it's not serious unless you really want to smash your TV every time you get quote unquote cheated on by the AI, which is honestly nakakaasar naman talaga. It really tested my patience a lot of times. No? But yeah, I mean, you have to give props to 2K for being able to have that. Sure, they have some things to work on. Like many people have been complaining about the shot chart or the shot level or whatever that is. No, how to make a successful shot in 2K21. Many people have been complaining about it.
Mm.
Even in nakita ko
They
yun eh, on
actually
Twitter.
they actually updated a patch, or they
Yeah, okay,
created a
they
patch
did
for
a
that.
patch on it. Okay,
Na
that's
parang
good.
i-revert back to
To the old,
the usual controls.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
'Cause
Okay, good.
it was met with a lot of criticism. But interestingly, Chip, no, I mean, if we're taking a step back and reviewing our statements for this, maybe tayo talaga siguro may generation na you're leaning towards the realism to it. Kasi I know you being a the dude for basketball, right? You're a coach.
Mm.
You coached Little League before, and you are a basketball player, so you
Not
know
just little
the
league, but also women's league. But yeah, go on. No, I
okay.
really did. Yeah, go on.
Yeah,
I
but
really did.
you do appreciate the grind as a
Yes,
coach, right?
yes.
You do
May
appreciate the
grind yun.
effort going into so if that translates to a game, I think yun yung hinahanap natin when it comes to basketball games that we can play online. So it's more of a release na ano yun, frustrated tayo, hindi naman tayo mga professional basketball players na parang gumawa ng mga slam dunks. But in this game, putya, 6'4" ka na dumadak ng tomahawk. Di ba? I mean, you get my point,
Yeah,
right?
correct.
It's the fantasy behind it. It's the fantasy and the parang elevated reality, I would have to say, that
Yep.
games like this try to bring for someone like who are like you na very focused on the realism. But
Correct. Ako
on the other,
personally, Carlo, with that one, kasi I can balance what's both fantasy and what's reality. No,
mm,
but I want to further stick my point with the scalpers. Nakakalimutan natin yung mga scalpers. Di ba? Wala sila kalimutan. Pansinin pa
mm,
rin natin sila. By asking the consumers, please, not to buy from them. Please. Especially the ones na talagang i-hoard yung 3,000, 4,000 units of PS5s and Xboxes. Don't buy, please. As much as possible, don't buy. Try to go to the right retailers. Get a receipt, please. Get an OR. Kasi kung sira yung PS5 or Xbox ang pinili mo sa
exactly.
scalper, wala kang babalikan. You don't
Mm,
have warranty for that purchase. So unlike in an actual retailer, in a legit retailer who would give you the price at not double the price because there is a standard retail price for that, at least mababalikan mo sila that, hey, my controller conked out. What the hell? So at least pwede mo pa usapan, oh yeah, there's a warranty for that, no? And those things, I mean, do it the legit way. I mean, what's wrong with that? Diba? Are they running out of stocks? Wait. Perhaps you can ask the retailer, hey, you know what? If you have stocks, maybe you can contact me at this number. Hook me up the
Oo
soonest
nga
time,
naman,
please.
Oo
Right?
nga
I mean,
naman,
those are some of the ways that consumers can actually get something. Diba? And aside from that, you're helping these retailers actually earn a living. The scalpers, they already have a living. They just want more.
Mm.
So you're helping the economy with regard to that one. I know sabi mo nga, Carlo, we're not gonna do with the economy thingy, diba? But help those who are actually trying to earn a living. They are the ones who are not rich or they don't want more. I mean, sure they want more, but this is one of the legit ways that they have to do it, and they have to do it.
And
So
this is a
tulong nyo na
day and
rin.
age then, pre, na na hindi na tayo nagli-lean towards the fake stuff, because buyers these days are much more wiser, I would say.
Yeah.
Na, you're buying the value of it. Yeah, and, like something electronic like the PS5, mga naman, doesn't make sense for you to buy off a scalper na walang warranty for it, right? And most likely, they're just transferring the warranty na under their name, and ang dami mo pang etchebureche na kailangan mo pang pagdaanan just to get that, instead of just purchasing it for your own.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
yeah, that
it's not just Carlo. Hindi naman to. It's not like I'm forcing people to. Of course, it's just a very. I thought it's a good advice. Why not? Diba? People, it's free. It's up to you to take it or not. In terms of me getting a PS5 console, I will get that soon. Not soon. I'll wait it just like what I did before. Mababa din yung presyo doon ako bibili. And of course, I'm gonna get from a legit
And
one.
and upon approval pa yan, no? Pareho pa tayong upon approval
Ano
yan.
pa? Upon approval from the one who's the CFO of the
Oo.
family. So,
Yung ako din actually yung boss ko magpapa-approve pa ako ng purchase.
may
Ang dami
purchase
pang
order, may signature pa
may
yan.
red tape pa yan, may red tape pa yan.
Got
So
it.
that's
Well,
actually our match point. That's match
Yeah.
point it is, right? So yeah, you wanna do the ownership?
well, game set match. That wraps up our episode for today. You know, Carlo, good talk. Honestly, good talk. Interesting insights, perspectives that we've hopefully generated. But it's basically not on top of our head, but basically also what we feel, right?
Yeah, and
guys, if you
and
can,
saying of what we feel, you can already check out our content on gamehigh.ph. There's several articles that we've already published when it comes to these types of topics. So, go ahead and check it out.
yeah, and also follow our Facebook page via at the gamehigh.ph. And you'll see the logo of our website on as the profile picture of our page. So please, guys, check us out. So, Carlo, that's a game, set, and match.
Match, yeah. Thank
guys,
you again.
Yep, thank you again for listening to us in our maiden episode. Hopefully, you'll listen to our next episodes. But the first of our next episode will be released next week. In the meantime, this is Chip. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at _CLO14 or _CLO14. Right? That's _CLO14 on Instagram and Twitter. Carlo?
And yeah, if you guys want to follow me on Instagram, that's at Carlo Season 21. So I only have my Instagram right now, but social media will be coming up soon. I promise.
Great. Cheers, guys. We'll see you then.
Ciao.